Okay, hello, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome again to our fourth meeting in the class of conversation. So today, this is the topic that we're gonna discuss is about um, a situation where if you have to live in a dormitory or if you have to live in a foreign country. So the topic is this is your room. So here, let's listen and speak. So I want to uh, ask you or ask yourself about when you are studying abroad, do you think it is better to stay with a family or live with other students, as in the meaning like a dormitory? And ask yourself about what is the benefit of each experience. Okay, you can give your opinion in this questionnaire. For example, if you think it's better living with a family, you give this box a tick. Or if you think living with other students is much better, you can give this box a tick. Or if you think both of them is better, so you put this box a tick. Okay, so the first question is, can you learn about the lifestyle and culture? So for example, if you're living with a family, do you examine their lifestyle and culture? Is it much better living with a family? Or do you think living with other students, you can examine their lifestyle and culture? Or do you think it's both? Okay. Well, in my opinion, I think is both can be relevant. Yeah, because if you're living with a family in a foreign country, you can know their daily lives is about. Yeah, for example, I've been to Australia and I've stayed with my friend from Greek. So we have this summer school where uh, the teacher gave us an assignment that we have to at least stay in a friend's house for about 3 days. Yeah, and then yeah, just get to know each other. So by doing that, um, me my personally, I can understand how he is uh, he's doing in his house. You know, his lifestyle is about, and then his culture. So like the Greek culture is, well, my friend is always wake up late. He doesn't really like. He's not a morning person. And then the culture is like every evening he always sit with his mom and dad in a living room, and then we watch TV while the parents, especially the dad, he have his beer. Yeah. And then yeah, so I can see their culture like that. Okay, and then if you're living in a dormitory, well, this is kind of have a limited to your examining how they are. So for example, like you meet your own countrymen, like your friend from the same country, so you don't actually um, what you call it, you don't actually grow, or you don't actually have more knowledge of what you have, what you are supposed to have, right? So I think the best one is living with a family if you're answering this first question. And then the number two is, can you practice your English? This one also I personally choose living with a family because like it or not, you have to adapt yourself in using English language, because if you want something, you have to, at least use or practice your English towards other people. And then for the third question is, can you make friends easily? Well, this one is, of course, I rather choose living with other students because we have the same thinking, and we have the same, you know, w- liking. Yeah. So I think this is the best choice is living with other student. And then you can try the local food. Well, this one is back again. I rather choose living with a family. Yeah, because we never knew what they, what do you call it, prepare for us. So this is um, quite very interesting for me. And then it's relaxing and comfortable. Well, this one is, I think, living with other students. This one, for example, living with a family, you have there are family rules that we have to uphold or we have to respect. And then the last question is, can you get help? Or you can get help with your homework. Well, this one I rather choose living with other students. Okay. So how about you guys? You can express yourself or practice yourself in giving me the explanation when we have our class meeting. Okay. The next slide. So this is the things that you can say or the thing that you might hear. So the thing you can say when you meet with other people for the first time, or how to be polite towards others. So for example, it's pleased to meet you, nice to meet you too. It's a big room with a view of the park. Is it okay if I watch TV? Do you think I could make a cup of coffee? Would you mind if I invite a friend for dinner? Is it okay if I turn up the heating? So this thing, the thing that you might say, or yeah, you might say when you are in the environment of living with a family, or of course living with other people like in a dormitory. And then the thing that you might hear, so for example, like the family might introduce themselves. I'd like you to meet my husband. Please call me Kevin. And this is my daughter. How was the trip? Let me show you to your room. On the left is the kitchen. The dining room is on your right. The toilet is at the top of the stairs. Do you want to unpack? And there's a payphone at the end of the street. So right, so this is the next slide is the speaking and greeting and introduction. So usually um, this is the way you greet people, and this is the way how you introduce yourself towards others. For example, here Paula is a student from Brazil. She is staying with a family in Ireland. Read the conversation and notice the expression in bold. Okay. Mrs. Woods, Paula, I'd like you to meet my husband. Paula says, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Woods. Mr. Woods reply, nice to meet you too, Paula. Please call me Kevin. So whenever people uh, introduce themselves back and giving them their first name, it means that they want to be nice to you, okay? And they want you to be not formal, not too formal, okay? So this is how they explain it. And then Mrs. Wood, then this is my daughter Abigail. Paula said, hello Abigail, pleased to meet you. Abigail says, hi, how was your trip? It was fine, thanks. Okay. Now here the an exercise 2, write the expression you can use. Okay, to introduce someone. Okay, try to make 2 expression. Okay, the first one is done for you. I like you to meet. Okay, and then to introduce someone is like, uh, please, introduce yourself like that. Yeah, okay. So that's one bold thing that most commonly used. Okay, and then we can say, uh, "This is my friend." Okay, and then she can introduce herself towards others. And then the B is when you meet someone for the first time. So, for example, like, nice to meet you. Okay, and how do you do? And then commonly in British people they say hello. Okay, so that's the commonly or yeah commonly used. Yes, they just say hello. And then to reply when someone says nice to meet you, we say nice to meet you too. And then to tell someone you prefer name. Sorry. Let me go back to the C part. Nice to meet you. We say nice to meet you too. And then the same thing as how do you do. If people uh, introduce themselves using how do you do, you can also say how do you do. Okay, the same thing as nice to meet you. You can say nice to meet you too. And then to tell someone your preferred name, yeah, this is mean that they are being nice to you. Like for example, call me Kevin or call me Danang or call me Dan or people call me when I was a teenager. My nickname or for my gamer name is my name is Nokoru. So yeah, that's kind of preferred name like that. Okay, the next one, listening and understanding direction. Okay, so this is like a preposition. We have on the left, so it's number 4. So on the left, yeah, it's facing this way. Yeah, on the left is on the left, and then on the right is number 2, and then at the top is number 5. At the bottom is number 7. At the end is number 6. Next to is number 1. And opposite, excuse me, opposite is number 3. Boy, am I sleepy. I'm sorry about that. Next one, Mrs. Wood is showing colors around the house. Listen and write the letter A through H and of each room in the correct place on the plan. Okay, so you can play the audio by yourself here, or we can try it here. If you can listen, that's good, but if not, you can play the track once I already downloaded in the e-learning.
Recording 23.
Okay, so let me show you around. This is the hall, of course. On the left is the kitchen.
Okay, so number 1 is the kitchen.
And on the right is the dining room.
And
then along here, if you follow me, on the
right is the dining room here. And the next one.
right.
Recording 23.
Okay, so let me show you around. This is the hall, of course. On the left is the kitchen.
Okay, the left is the kitchen. Number 1 is F.
And on the right is the dining room.
On the right is the dining room. That's number 3 is H.
And then along here, if you follow me, on the right is the lounge.
Okay, on the right is the lounge. That's number 2.
This is where we spend most of our time. Okay, so that's the downstairs. Oh, I nearly forgot. There's a toilet here, just at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay, so number 4, at the bottom of the stair is a toilet.
Stairs. So let's go upstairs now. On the left is our room.
Okay, on the left is our room, so that's number 5.
That's my husband Kevin and me. And opposite is Abigail's room.
Opposite means the other direction, so number 6 is Abigail's room.
This is your room, along here, next to Abigail's.
Okay, so along here, number 7 is your room or Paula's room.
It's quite big. Oh, yes, and the bathroom is at the end.
And then a bathroom is number 8. Okay, that's all of it. If you don't get that, then you can check it by yourself. Let's move on to the next slide. Now listen to this sentence, write true or false. Okay, you can do this by yourself. Remember, practice make perfect. So if you listen carefully, you will get the answer. Okay. So here, did you know that in the UK, public toilets are often called ladies and gent? You may also hear someone ask, where's the loo? So toilet in the United Kingdom, they call it a loo. While in American English or in American country, the toilet is called restroom or bathroom. And then the linking word together. We often link word together when we speak. So yes, in conversation, we like to use the abbreviation of each words. Yeah, for like this is, we call it this. This the dining room, and on the right, the lounge. Yeah, on the right's the lounge. The kitchen's on the left. And then read sentence C and G. Underline the sound that you think are linked. Then listen and check. Okay, listen and check. So my room's on the right. It's a big room with a view of the park. Teresa picked up the bag and took it upstairs. We left our coats in the kitchen. And I like a cup of tea, please. So here, a cup of tea. Most native speaker, they like to put it in one breath, ya, satu pengucapan. So in writing we say cup of tea, but in pronunciation, in conversation and speaking, we call it a cup of tea. Ya, a cup of tea. Jadi off-nya nggak kedengeran, okay? So focus on modal verb. So modal verb is like a helping verb, yeah. Helping verb is like can, could, will, would, shall, should, and have to, must. Had to is also must, yeah. And then don't have to, okay. So okay, let's do this one. I can watch TV in my room. Okay. So is it necessary or is not necessary, or is it possible or not possible? So number 1 is done for you. Is 1 is 3, so it's possible. I can watch TV in my room. It's possible I can watch TV. Yeah, possible. And then I have to get up early every morning. And this is I have to is a necessary. Yeah, it's a necessary. It's a necessary to get up early every morning. And I can't smoke anywhere in the building. This is not possible. Yeah. It's not possible to smoke anywhere in the building. I don't have to study at weekends, so I don't have to study, so it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Okay, next one, complete this sentence using the modal verb from the example verb above. So I have my own TV, so I can watch what I want. And then I blah 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 travel for far to get to school. It's very close. So this one, I can travel far to get to school. Sorry, I don't have to. I don't have to travel far to get to school. It's very close. And then we all blah 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 keep the kitchen and bathroom clean. So we all have to keep the kitchen and bathroom clean. And then we can't play loud music at night or have any pets. We blah 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 go out in the evening, but we blah 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 be back before night. So we can go out in the evening, but we can't, but we must, or we have to, but we have to be back before midnight. Okay, and then I can cook meals are included in the price. Okay. Now understanding the rules. Okay, so this is the rules that mentioned in Mrs. Wood's family. Okay, so you can open the audio and uh, check for it, and then you can answer the question here. Next, my second learning tips here. In English, people say please and thank you a lot. Always use please and thank you whenever possible when you are speaking in English. Yes, so apparently this culture is not relevant in the Japanese society anymore. Yeah, it means that we have lost our Easterners. Yeah, we have lost our Japanese ness. Ya, jadi kita udah kehilangan ketimuran kita udah kehilangan kejawaan kita ya. Jadi please, if you have a student or if you have a small brother, please teach them the polite way of saying thank you and please. Okay, next slide. Here, listen again and tick the true or false for each rules. Yeah, so this is the same rules as in the previous slide. You can listen to the audio by yourself. And then speaking, asking for permission. So basically, modal verb, you can use that for ability, you can use that for permission also, yeah. So for example, can I, yeah, would you mind, could you please, yeah. You can use the modal verb for permission. You can use the expression in bold to ask for permission. Yeah. Is it okay if I watch TV? Do you think I could make a cup of tea? Cup of coffee? Would you mind if I invite my friend for dinner? Okay. So in this exercise, you have to speak up for yourself. So make 3 sentences, okay, using the words from the box. For example, do you think I could use the heating? Okay, and like that. Okay, so here, imagine you are staying with family. You want to do this thing, ask for permission politely. So, for example, like we have a washing machine, we have the shower, we have a coffee machine, we have the temperature, we have the phone. So here you can exercise yourself, asking this permission politely. Exercise it using your probably like a mirror or something like that. Okay, so these are the good manners you can use. Yeah, for example, will you, would you please, could you please, could you possibly, would you kindly, would you mind, would you be so kind as to. Okay, these are some of the good manners that you can use for permission. Next one is speaking, talking about your experience. You can use these words and experience to give your opinion. Write each word for or experience, expression in the correct column. So we have a big smile, B, so and so, and C is a sad face. Yeah, a good fun. Okay, good fun. It's happy. Quite good. Quite good. I think it's B. Really helpful is A. Great is A. Okay is B. Fantastic is A. Not very kind is C. Terrible is C. Good fun. Good fun. Oh, good fun udah A. Very friendly A. A bit boring is B. Okay, so this is, imagine you are studying English in Australia and you are staying with a family. You're traveling, you're telling a friend about your experience. Use the idea below and use the expression above to help you. Okay, so this is, you can practice yourself. Yeah, you say the food at the school is terrible. Okay, you can ask you can practice it with your friend. Yeah, for example, he says, "How's the food at school?" Okay, how's the meal? And then, how is the family? How's the weather? Okay, and how's school or how's classes? Next one is, imagine you're staying with a family in England. You are meeting the family for the first time. Listen to the